Now, let's talk about the controversy of tax rises. Ministers say that Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves misled the cabinet by justifying tax rises. Talk to us about what they said. We know that Reeves repeatedly cited weaker productivity forecasts, including at a meeting she held where she hinted the basic rate of income tax would be going up. And she told ministers that Britain faced challenges in the forms of tariffs, unstable borrowing costs, inflation and long-term productivity. And she said she had to respond to the world as it is now. I mean, that's one way to justify putting taxes up.
Well, yeah, I have no doubt here that they absolutely misled the cabinet, but I think worse than that is they misled the public. This was a fundamentally socialist budget that the UK public never voted for, they never wanted to, and now they're the ones paying the ultimate price for that. It's pretty clear the reason why they raised taxes, and it's because unfortunately the UK seems to be following the path of Latin America, whereby they're raising taxes so that investors don't flee, because investors aren't going to invest if they don't have faith the country is going to be able to repay the debt. So that's the reason why they've done it. But if you take one look at Latin America, that is a terrible decision to make. It just leads to absolutely terrible outcomes. Now, unfortunately, that's where the UK is at. They will be paying for this. What the Western world doesn't seem to understand is the only way to raise living standards is by growing the economy. And that's something that Trump does understand, but it's the only one in the Western economy who's actually doing something about it, because he understands that if with a bigger economy comes a larger tax revenue. That's the only way to raise living standards. And what this budget just shows is that both Reeves and Starmer, they don't get it. They don't understand it. And until there is a drastic course correction and they get back on track here, I think speculation over leadership spills that will continue to rise, because I don't see how they can continue down this path.
And let's look at Reform UK leader, I should say, Nigel Farage. He's denying claims that he's planning some kind of election pact with the Conservatives, despite some donors saying that he's told them a deal with the Tories is inevitable. So reports suggest that he's floated everything from cooperation to a full mega-party merger. But Farage insists he'd only ever consider a reverse takeover, saying he won't do a deal with a party he does not trust. Mia, what do you make of this? Do you think that there will be a deal to come?
Yeah, look, I've said this before, Farage is an incredible leader. He's a once-in-a-generation talent. He's incredibly unique, and he has achieved something that I don't think anyone expected him to achieve in the first place. But there is a problem here about continuing the momentum, and there are some administrative challenges that Farage, realistically, he does have to face, and that is such as running good, solid candidates in all the seats that he needs to put candidates in. I think that's going to be a real challenge for him, and that's why I think he has made these statements about absorbing people who want to defect from the Tory party. He's willing to take them on, and I can understand why he's saying that, because he does need to address those administrative challenges. However, I think it would be a real shame if that deal was to go any further than that. I do not think Reform should do any kind of deal with the Tories, because realistically, the Tories are still lost at sea. They have no idea what they stand for. They have no idea what they're doing. And it shows a real lesson, especially for the Liberal Party here in Australia, that when you're a party who has a message for everyone, you have a message for no one. We saw the Tories triumph net zero. They refused to crack down on immigration. They did nothing to solve the cost of living crisis. And as a result, they completely lost their base. And I think we're seeing the same problem here happen in Australia, where people want a leader who stands for something and stands for them, and that's Farage. So I think Farage should continue what he's doing. He needs to sort out those logistics, but I don't think he should do a deal with the Tories.